When you're watching a poker tournament, the most drama you're expecting is an upset, a rookie beating out a world champ, but in 2010, viewers were in for an even more dramatic and frightening treat. The European Poker Tour tournament in Berlin was hijacked by armed men live on air. Not only did they pull off their heist, but they took home 242,000 euros. Although no one was seriously hurt, panic ensued and the crowd went berserk before the cameras were cut. Don't worry, the robbers were taken into custody and convicted shortly after. Their sentence, a mere 3 years locked up. When you see a figure that you can only describe as an orc, then you know that reality has become a Tolkien novel. Published to the paranormal subreddit by Remola Day 2, the uploader purports to have caught real video evidence of just such a capture. The redditor explains that he and his brother are arguing what this thing is that they caught on camera. Due to its size, he doesn't think it's human. He writes, his house is remotely located and the figure is coming from a huge field and not from the road ahead. Also, all the lights on the road and behind the tractor are turned on by sensor, so the ones on the road ahead shouldn't be lit. In the video, the creature appears to waddle past, definitely in an inhuman way. The second video shows the creature's large shadow before it waddles past again. The uploader claims that they've discovered 2 black leaves where the creature was walking, and the woods near which it passed had also begun to turn black, like it's rotting. Some in the comments say that the creature appears to be dragging something, like a deer, suitcase, or large bag. Others say it looks like Sasquatch or Hagrid from Harry Potter. What do you think this is? This video is simply called Path of the Banshee. A man is walking all by himself down a bleak path with rows of trees reaching out for him from both sides. He spots something in the distance and freezes. Some people claim that the scream is fake and edited in. Even so, plenty of people say that they can see a figure in white robes in the distance. Do you see anything like that when he zooms in? Also, if you can identify if that scream is from a video game or a movie or something, then please let me know. Maybe together we can prove if this video is fake or real once and for all. YouTuber More Wolfie is staying at an Airbnb with some friends. In the rental, he's found a trapdoor which he promised viewers he would investigate. He says he doesn't know what's in it, but he wouldn't be surprised if there were raccoons or coyotes living there, as he's based in LA and they're not uncommon. He first politely knocks on the trapdoor, but unsurprisingly no one answers. Then he pulls the latch and opens the trapdoor. The phone's video goes blurry. A moment later, they open the door again with a clear video and a flashlight. The door reveals a big pile of dirt with a plastic bottle on top and the interior structure of the house walls. I feel like there's rats and stuff in there, Wolfie says. The woman filming says it's probably haunted. Wolfie considers squeezing into the small space, but after hesitating a bit, he decides against it, suggesting there's probably spiders. He finally steps in and backs out again, explaining the small room appears to go much deeper into the underground of the house. In fact, it appears to be a tunnel. Where does it lead? To the underworld, possibly somewhere creepier than the tunnel itself. Wolfie hasn't explored the tunnel any further, so we don't know its destination. Any intrepid explorers here dare to take on the challenge. A dark alley gets even creepier when a mysterious figure peeks in from nowhere. At 6 seconds, it straightens up and briefly assumes a human form before losing its shape and abruptly flying away. A ghost sighting has been caught on tape if this security video is to be believed. If not, then it looks like an insect landed on the lens to create this effect and then flew away. Leonard Thomas Lake was a very evil man. It is believed that Leonard and his partner Charles Ng took anywhere from 11 to 25 lives. keeping them in a remote cabin at the foothills of the Sierra Nevada in California. After a medical discharge from Vietnam, he joined a hippie commune near San Francisco where he got married for a short time. But soon Lake found someone who shared the same dark desires as he did. It was only when Lake met Charles Ng in 1981 that the pair started their shared spree. Charles had also served as a Marine but was dishonorably discharged for theft and desertion. The two agreed to share a cabin together. Lake had built a dungeon next to the cabin. The next year saw the two partners take a number of lives, including neighbors, friends, workmates, and sometimes whole families. On the cabin property, journals, remains, and these lost tapes were discovered. Some of the tapes revealed the horrible acts committed by these two heinous men. Others showed Lake's philosophy on what he wanted in life. Although Lake didn't see justice,
if you go along with this, cooperate with this, we'll be as nice as we can to you within the limits of keeping you prisoner.
The tape served as proof that his partner Charles was involved in the actions, for which he was convicted on 11 counts. An ownerless shadow is in this alley. Moments later, a motorbike moves all by itself for almost 10 seconds before dropping hard. This incident is being mislabeled as a paranormal video as far as I'm concerned. Here's why. A strong wind blows through this drafty alley, so maybe a gust of wind popped up the kickstand and sent the bike in motion. Likewise, the shadow could be a result of this thing flapping overhead. Overall, I'm 50-50 on the legitimacy of this creepy moment, so help me decide if this bizarre street cam video is really paranormal. Everyone knows that in the wild, you're a guest in nature's home, except these people apparently. Published to YouTube by Cone Baby, this group was captured on camera getting too close to the wildlife in Yellowstone National Park.
Hey guys, we've run into a bison here and these stupid girls are approaching it. Bison can run up to 30 miles an hour and gore you to death, so who knows if they actually...
The buffalo at first looks like he's minding his own business, but then...
We're just gonna sit and watch him feed for a little bit, and oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
In my opinion, this video should serve as a warning to anyone who visits a national park. Don't be an intrusive guest in nature's home. A man enters a restaurant in Split, Croatia, and helps himself not only to a chair, but to a customer's belongings as well. First, he enters loudly enough to make two women turn around and take notice. He was probably on a fake phone call and tried to play it cool, but fails miserably. He pretends to hang his jacket up on the chair and stretches out to try and swipe this black backpack. It doesn't work, and so, undeterred, he tries again, this time as one of the family members gets up, and he's about as close as he can be to getting caught here at 41 seconds, and so he knocks it to the floor while the older man is busy swapping out a more comfortable chair, covers it with his jacket, picks it up, and dips. They must have thought the odd fellow simply changed his mind about eating here. Only later did they realize he had gotten away with one of their travel documents. Obviously, this man has practiced this technique many times before and probably targeted them because they looked like a tourist family. He has yet to be caught in the past 4 years and most likely never will. So the next time you're at a restaurant, watch out for any odd characters sitting at a table near you. A YouTuber named JawGuy7 is hanging out at a creek when a mangy lone deer comes wandering up to them. I can't tell for sure, but I think it makes two strange noises that I have never heard come from a deer before. The deer calmly walks past them without any fear and goes to the river but does not drink. Eventually it turns towards them and gives him a cold blank stare. There seems to be no life or thought behind its eyes as it holds him in its gaze. Long strands of drool hang from its lips, indicating possible CWD. Obviously this creature is thirsty, but at the same time it lacks. The cognitive facilities needed to take a drink. CWD has left it just smart enough to find a water source, yet far too gone to quench its thirst. Hopefully this was reported to Animal Wildlife Control so they could help the deer. Are apps the best method by which to gauge the paranormal around us? Published by QTube in August of 2021. These guys are freaking out after seeing something sitting in a chair in their home via an app filter. They note that another chair nearby looks completely normal, but when scanning the chair next to it with the filter, it's red hot with energy.
And this chair isn't.
Look, this one's fine, but you can go on this chair. Someone is sitting on this chair, guys.
They're sure that someone is sitting in this chair. Is technology finally allowing us to engage with the invisible energies around us, or is the filter just glitching? I think they should try using a thermal camera in this room. It might just reveal more than what we saw here. The hand. Uh-oh, the hand is reaching out from the other side. YouTube channel It's Jammer shares this creepy video that'll give you nightmares. The clip's original source is Instagram account Spikers.
¿Es cuarto?
Sí, hágale. Uy, marica, venga. Que señero rápido. Uy, no. Marica, perro, lo grabé, venga.
That was a hand, a child's hand. Look more closely, and yet there's no one there.
Uy, no. Marica, perro, lo grabé, venga.
This is just one of the many terrifying things that have occurred in the Instagrammer's house. Personally, I think his footage is some of the creepiest of its kind. Number 20. What's beneath your floorboards? This clip was originally posted by TikTok user Unfortunate Existence. The TikToker was replacing her carpets in her home when she came across a secret trapdoor, captioned, "When you pull the carpet off your floor and find a basement you never knew about." The footage reveals that the secret door led into a secret cellar. Admittedly, the creepiest thing about discovering a hidden room in your home is the question of why that room was kept hidden, but we'll get to that only after we've explored it. The basement is equipped with a set of wooden stairs, so it looks as though its location was known by the past tenant or owner and the basement was used. The TikToker captures her first descent into the secret room on video. There's nothing much in the room but a bucket in one corner, a garbage bag that appears to be empty under the stairs, an old chair and desk behind the stairs, and a disassembled bed frame. There's also a large red liquid splatter on one side of the room, which the TikToker calls a little concerning. She notes that it doesn't smell decent down there. When all appears to be relatively normal, the cellar light suddenly switches on, throwing a wrench into her investigation. Does someone know that she's there? That's more than a little concerning. School is the last place most people want to be in general, but in a crisis, there's an added layer of angst. Published by the Anchorage School District in December of 2018, a classroom security camera captured the scary magnitude 7.1 quake as it hit Anchorage, Alaska on November 30th of that same year at about 8:30 in the morning. The video shows the room and its objects start to tremble as the camera begins to shake. Coached for such an event, the students know what to do as they jump under their desks without any prompting from the teacher, who ducks under a desk as well. The projector shakes the most aggressively, while objects are seen falling from the desks and walls. The power goes out for a moment and you can hear the teacher trying to keep the students calm.
Cover your mouth with your shirt.
After the initial quaking comes to an end, the teacher tells the kids to remain under the desks.
Everybody okay?
Breathing, going.
Stay underneath the table.
After a while, the fire alarm goes off, and the students retreat from the classroom. More than 80 aftershocks followed throughout the day, with 3 reaching magnitudes of 5.0 or greater. One of them occurred just 6 minutes after this original quake. Way to keep calm and carry on. Randy films his cat taking a midday snooze when something creepy moves overhead. I would say this is just a particle of dust, except the cat sees it too and bolts upstairs like it's one of the scariest moments it's ever had in all of its 9 lives. Something makes the cat open its eyes. It senses something is wrong. Then an apparent ghost orb floats by, and suddenly the cat no longer wants to be in the same room anymore. Skeptics, I'm sure, will be quick to point out that the cat could have been startled by the camera. That's a good point, except cats usually don't run in fear from their owner. This cat seems to have felt the presence of something, a feline sixth sense of sorts, and it doesn't stick around. In Toy Story, the toys come to life in a charming manner when the kids are away, but when it happens in this video, it's more chilling than charming. Originally posted to TikTok by Oscar Furlan, the video shows a Woody doll standing upright on the kitchen counter with one hand on a can. Noticing that a human person has entered, the doll glances over at him before dropping his hand, going stiff like a board, and falling over backwards into the kitchen sink. Although it truly does look eerily real, some claim it's an animation, while Redditor Anna Cabana says the dolls are designed to fall over in this manner when hearing the phrase, "Someone's coming." Regardless of whether it's an animation or the toy's design, I think we can all agree with Mythical Gamer 9, who writes, it looks a bit too real, still very creepy. Definitely not a toy on my wish list. A TikToker paranormal team called Zodiac Supernatural is in the middle of the woods when this wild noise rips through an otherwise still night. Tell me if you can identify this creature, because it sounds massive and furious.
Really cold to be seen.
I can't tell if it's being devoured, letting out a warning call, or just going crazy at their camera lights. I'm surprised that everyone doesn't immediately run away, which makes me wonder if they actually had some idea of what it was and possibly weren't telling us.
So it's really cold to be seen. What the f is that?
我也不清楚。
Claims of the Chinese Guanyin statue blinking inside of the Linquin Temple are apparently real if you believe this video. Sometimes this blinking effect happens from shaking the camera, but at 42 seconds the phone is still and the statue still does it.
这明显的这个，对吧？还非常明显，打得非常明显。
I also hear temple bells, so this could have taken place during a ceremony. However, I'm pretty sure that this blinking is from a grainy video. The background looks to be moving in a similar way too. Fausto Perez believes he has forged a spiritual connection with an extraterrestrial. He sets up a camera to demonstrate his capabilities and waits for a response.
Beings in the sky, come to me, give me a sign, help me advance to a higher level of consciousness, let me see you.
Less than 10 minutes later, he and his team spot a foreign white square twisting in the wind. This is what he affectionately refers to as a flying carpet, as it's apparently just one of the many regular visitors he receives from the sky. Whatever this square-shaped object is, it has to be absolutely huge to be visible from this far away. Only one of the cameras manages to catch it. Overall, no one can say for sure if this is a real encounter or a mere coincidence. If Fausto is wrong about this extraterrestrial sighting, then I have no idea what it could actually be. If you're looking for a haunted location, your best bet is to choose somewhere with a scary history. Steve Ronan, an American urban explorer, traveled to the United Kingdom to investigate a Victorian-style mansion believed to be the site of a gruesome taking of life. Despite its longevity, the event took place in 2006 when then homeowner Christopher Lumsden ended his wife's life in a jealous rage. She had allegedly just returned from dinner with her lover when the incident occurred. Despite the viciousness of the event, Lumsden only served 5.5 years when he was released on license, the British legal system's equivalent of parole. Intrigued by the story, Ronan decided to investigate at the home in order to see if he could come up with answers. Upon arrival, the front of the house is littered with large trash, including several beds, some broken walls, and what appears to be clothing. At the time the video was filmed, renovations were ongoing to prepare the house to be put up for sale. It is unknown if the trash was from the house itself or was left there randomly, but it would be strange if so many pieces of clothing were left behind. The first bit of the video is Ronan and his team exploring the house, finding it in a state of disrepair. At one point, they find a strange piece of wallpaper on the floor. The same system is seen covering the walls of a room. Written on it are various strange phases, including Carpe Diem Dungeons Fire, Jungle Truth or Dare Power. What this means is a mystery, and it's a strange design to have as a wallpaper. Things quickly take a turn for the creepy when they find a red stain on the floor of one of the rooms in front of a dresser. On closer inspection, it is a sizable red blot stained into the floorboard that was once beneath the now torn up carpet. It definitely is believable that it's what we're all thinking, since the coloration does resemble when such a stain has aged over time. One of the crew decides to shine a UV light on the spot. As he explains, the spot remains visible as a dark purple under the light, instead of blending into the floor. Also, while it is not mentioned, there are spots that weren't visible when the light wasn't on. Going off the find, they decide to begin a spirit box session in the room. The method they use is simple, as they find a radio and rapidly shift through the channels. After a couple of questions and one false alarm, a voice comes through the static saying, "You were tricked."
You were tricked? Did you just hear you were tricked?
This is strange, as immediately before that, they were discussing whether or not they were deceived into believing another house entirely was the location of the gruesome life-taking. At the beginning of the video, they spoke with a security guard of another residence who claimed the occupied house was the actual location of the incident. However, they were not allowed in and went to this house nearby that is also said to be where the incident happened. Could it be possible they are communicating with something who knows they were tricked? The group hears various answers come through the radio, although admittedly it is hard to hear whether it is actually something answering them or simply words from the radio programs coming through and sounding like answers. Next, the group decides to conduct an EVP session to see if they can hear anything else. During the session, the group hears noises, and something like shuffling is picked up on the EVP. At this time, nobody in the room is moving or talking. They also hear something that sounds like chewing or moving their mouth. After asking a question, some sort of faint whisper can be heard right before the next question is asked.
If so, who was the one who murdered you?
Unfortunately, it's too difficult to decipher what, if anything, is being said, as it is too quiet. After nothing else seems to come through, finally the group uses an actual spirit box, which automatically and rapidly changes stations so quickly you can't hear what is being said by the program. Ronan asks if anyone can tell what happened and if there was an event of a life being taken. Soon after, a voice comes through with what sounds like yes, immediately followed by what sounds like someone died. Soon, a male voice comes through with what Ronan thinks sounds like "wasn't me." The moment that is guaranteed to send chills down your spine is when a woman, either laughing, crying, or possibly screaming, can be heard. The investigation wraps soon after, and Ronan leaves with what could be considered valuable evidence. The event that occurred in the home has left an imprint, and not just the stain on the floor. I found a YouTube channel called Phantasma House Paranormal that I think needs to get more attention because of how creepy their investigations are. Take this cemetery exploration in the UK for example. They wanted to find out if this cemetery is as haunted as people claim, so they set up paranormal tracking equipment, and after a while the answer becomes an obvious yes. Their first sighting happens so fast, so watch closely.
Can you show me again?
At 2 minutes and 4 seconds, it looks like this ghost is sitting on the roof of the church. There's absolutely nothing there that resembles an actual person, so I don't think it is a glitch. And when he talks to the ghost, it appears at the door directly under the roof it was just sitting on, like it jumped down to greet him. At 2 minutes and 36 seconds, the ghost walks away from the door, and 10 seconds later it's standing behind him. It wiggles around in front of him for a bit, and then sits back down like it was on the roof. When he looks at it from a different angle, it still appears to be sitting on a marker, which is creepy to think about, a ghost sitting on their own grave. Soon spirits gather all around him in objects that don't resemble a person, and therefore should not be setting off his equipment, yet they do. At one point, the ghost even walks down the steps. He reaches an overgrown portion of the cemetery in the back that's eerie to explore, even in the middle of the day, and he switches on a ghost listening device. What he hears next leaves him scared.
Say something now? I dare you.
Disrespectful.
Okay, so tell me what you make of that. It could be a ghost scolding him, which is terrifying, but I feel like the app could be listening to his mic and will say certain things in response. In other words, I don't know if that was really supernatural or if it was a pre-programmed response to the phrase, I dare you. Here it is again.
Say something now? I dare you.
Disrespectful.
Something has crawled up this poor woman's leg and refuses to come out. Her friend almost has it by the tail, but then at the last second it does the unthinkable and burrows even deeper. The scared animal probably would have gone up way higher if she didn't stand up in time and let gravity force it back down. She is either trying not to scream or lose her lunch as her friend tries again, this time wrapping its tail around his index finger. He manages to extract a giant rat and quickly puts it back in its container. The rat looks used to being handled, and this is probably the only thing that kept it from trying to bite and scratch its way out. The horrific event that happened at University of Idaho has drawn national and international attention. Redditor 2201992 shared some Fox News footage of the investigation, including an interview with a victim's father. During the interview, something odd happens. Listen closely.
Holy that's a scream.
It does sound like a scream to me too. Some in the comments say it happens 3 times on the full video posted on the Fox News website. Whether or not this can be explained, considering the interviewer is at the scene of the incident, this terrifying shriek made my hair stand on end.
Holy that's a scream.
This woman claims that she would go to bed at night only to be woken up by strange noises and left with the unshakable feeling that she was not alone. When she sets up a camera to record some evidence, she finds this bizarre footage the next day. Imagine watching yourself trying to sleep while this figure haunts your dreams. At one point, the supposed phantom appears to be lunging at her. She says that she believes she was still awake during this point and remembers seeing nothing. Only when the contrast on the video was enhanced did anything become visible. Scratched. What happens when you're marked by the devil? We're about to find out. YouTuber Lindsay of Phantomette joins forces with the fam to investigate this haunted abbey. During an Estee session, Lindsay mentions the wind and the REM pod starts going off.
Opened it, and the last time somebody was in here.
It feels so much wind around me.
She said, when the thing's going off, she can't hear it. I said, oh my.
Then, a moment later, this happens.
What in the... Ah! What the... Yo, I'm getting... What the...
The fam explains what happened.
As soon as you said there was a gust of wind, that thing started going off, and then you said something else, and I felt like something grabbed me back there.
When they examine him, they see the mark of the devil.
Do you see, hold this, do you see anything on my back?
You have 3 deep scratches. Are you serious? Wait. Hold on. I'm late on this.
I felt something like grabbing and maybe scratching me or something.
There's 3. There's blood.
He was scratched, but by what? I think by something that doesn't want him here. Number 9. This London poltergeist is extremely aggressive. Captured at around 4 in the morning, YouTube channel The London Paranormal 1 shares this unbelievable footage. First, you just hear unexplained sounds off screen. But then it begins. And if that wasn't enough, this happens. The poltergeist sure likes making a mess. Either that or one of the fridge magnets is possessed, as YouTuber Flapzapple suggests. But that leads to a bigger question: which one? Everyone knows seedy stuff happens under bridges, and YouTuber Last Leaf Studio found evidence of this in July of 2016, posting a video entitled "Some Creature Creeps Under the Pedestrian Bridge in Kiev." The footage shows traffic passing by on a highway in Ukraine's capital, as the cameraman is posted alongside a pedestrian walkway. Scanning the scene, the camera lands on the pedestrian bridge overhead. Look closely here. Beneath the bridge, you can see a large creature, apparently somehow holding onto the underside of this bridge, creeping across it bit by bit. You can even see its limbs move as it makes its way across. At first in darkness, the figure makes its way towards the light. A close-up of the creature reveals that this figure is distinctive. Its outline and limbs seem to be that of a human, or at least that of a humanoid creature. But what human can traverse the underbelly of a bridge like that, and why would they? The other option is that it's something with an immense amount of strength. What do you think it is? Witch. Be careful, a witch is out and about. YouTuber Nikolai from Seeker of Ghosts is making his way through these dark woods when he spots a glowing light.
Там я вижу какое-то свечение. Камера не передаст, но там кто-то сидит. Вот. Кто-то там находится.
He circles around and captures the glow again.
По этой странной дороге идет человек. Проблема в том, что я не вижу, что у меня под ногами.
He gets closer and says it looks like a woman.
Вот она идет. Это походу какая-то женщина по телосложению.
Is it a witch?
Твою мать, я был тупо 3 метра от нее. Она так
It's looking more and more like that's the case. After she leaves, Nikolai approaches where she was doing her ritual and finds this. Looks like voodoo to me. As Nikolai examines it, the witch approaches. He escapes, but just barely. I hope the witch doesn't find a little Nikolai-shaped voodoo doll, or he may be next. Number 9. This child is learning how to play peekaboo when she apparently loses her balance and topples over.
Lexi!
Except when you take a closer look, you'll see that the girl's feet appear to be firmly planted on the ground the entire time. Upon closer inspection, it looks as if she falls over unnaturally, almost like she's being shoved. There's now a fierce online debate as to whether this child was pushed by an invisible force or merely fell over by accident. I know that kids don't have the best balance, so she could have fallen over on her own, but the way she takes a couple steps back also makes me think that something paranormal is at play here. This CCTV ghost footage was taken inside a school in Warren, Michigan. A girl stops to put her hair in a bun, completely unaware of a possible paranormal presence floating directly across from her. Look at the water fountain and you'll see it. The faint white outline of a person's head leaning in, as if to take a drink. It disappears for a moment, and then when the girl is busy checking out her reflection, it comes back again, this time bouncing back and forth in front of the fountain some more before vanishing for good. Some people are saying that this could just be dust, but I think it's interesting how it seems to hang around the spout of the water fountain for a long time. I can also kind of see the outline of a student's body when I look hard enough. Tell me if you can too. This creepy video is what happens when you go ghost hunting around Ireland's haunted woods of Newton Abbey.
Helly, did you hear the word ambu?
I don't hear anything, but I do see a strange mist has been caught on camera. Paranormal, I'd say, because it doesn't look like their breath. It happens twice, here at 26 seconds and again at 28 seconds. I hear they have a lot of foggy weather in Ireland, so maybe this is a small patch of fog they've caught on camera instead of a ghost. But let's face it, they get creeped out in a scary part of the woods known to be haunted, stop to record, and then capture some strange sightings on tape, so maybe this is a paranormal ghost video. YouTuber Han Kardashler confronts a spirit in this scary video. He and his team see something walking the road of this village in the darkness.
Ya? Bu ne? Oy bismillahirrahmanirrahim, bismillahirrahmanirrahim, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kim o? Oğlum o ne lan? Yaklaştır, yaklaştır.
They don't get near enough to catch it, but they see it again from the second story of a building.
Uy. Bismillah, azıcık büyüt kanka be. Heh. Dur. La ilahe illallah, Muhammeden Resulullah. La ilahe illallah. Ne yapıyor?
What it's doing in the darkness is anyone's guess. They soon see it again though, this time closer. It disappears from its post and reappears at the far side of the road.
Oğlum nereye kayıp? Ya bismillah. 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 Oğlum şurada. Kadın camda aşağı. Beyaz şey işte. Oğlum bu oğlum nasıl kayıp? Abi ona bak. Ona bakıyor işte.
What is this being? Is it a spirit? Or something even more sinister? It seems like a spirit to me, but I'd be wary of its magic tricks. There's more than evil clowns lurking in our city's storm drains. Published by Night Owl 2007 in October of 2010, these students were exploring the LA sewers when they encountered a sewer monster in the flesh. Arriving at the storm drain at night, the crew climbs down into the tunnel. Their voices echo deep into the sewer, providing an eerie ambiance.
There's a cobweb right there, you see it?
Yes.
Let's see these echoes. Dude, Jesus I forgot how scary it was down here. I'm not pointed down the tunnel. Dude, it's nothing down the tunnel. Wow, that's cannot see how far down it goes. I do not want to get raped.
After creeping further into the tunnel, they hear this unnerving growl.
Did you hear that? I for real just heard something.
They decide to crack some glow sticks and throw them ahead into the darkness, but they aren't quite bright enough to see anything. As they prepare a couple more to light the way, one of the crew stands up, and that's when you see this creepy figure behind him. A pale, mask-like face peers over the guy's shoulder.
I don't think you're throwing out enough light here. What the f***?
Prompting the cameraman to turn tail and race out of there, leaving his friend to fend for himself alongside Pennywise's more terrifying cousin. Now, he may seem like a bad friend, but let's be real, wouldn't you do the same? The shadow hunters from Brazil go exploring the woods for an abandoned house haunted by an angry poltergeist. It's a long walk through darkness to find it, but when they do, they go sprinting up to its yellow walls to try and catch the poltergeist by surprise.
Vai por aí. Tem alguém aí?
They walk around the perimeter of the poltergeist house and find something else that leaves him extremely freaked out and regretting their decision to come here at night.
Tem nada aí não, mano. Tem alguém aí? Tem vela aqui também. Nossa, mano do céu.
On the ground are more candles and a sheet that with something strangely shaped underneath of it. Candles surround the object on all sides and give me a bad feeling that something has gone really wrong here. Whatever's been covered with a sheet is not moving and shows no signs of life. They go inside for a closer look but do not dare lift up the sheet and see what's inside. What do you think was under there? If the legends were true about this poltergeist being a summoner, then I think we all know the answer. They might have set this all up for a video, but I don't think so. He doesn't waste any time ending this video and calling the police. If you knowingly lived in a haunted house, would you stay? Donnie Drunkard did. Published to YouTube in December of 2020, this paranormal activity will run you out of Donnie Drunkard's home. Donnie writes, after trying to recover footage that I thought was lost, I found these clips from last year documenting the earliest days of paranormal and poltergeist activity manifesting in my haunted house. The footage first shows Donnie playing with his dog Terry, but later that night Donnie notes that the atmosphere changed and that they heard voices and sounds coming from upstairs. Terrifying clinking and clanking bursts through the darkness. Terry is growling as Donnie grabs for his Bible and starts to pray.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
As Terry tries to escape under a table for comfort.
Terry, come here. Terry. Come on. Come on, Terry. We gotta go.
Donnie gathers him up to flee this mayhem for a time. As they head out for a drive, in the background, an overhead light is swinging back and forth. While they are away, a closet door near where the sound originated opens slowly. Nothing exits. YouTuber Brenda Luke writes, that hallway, it's not just darkness, it's advanced darkness. I'd be leaving that haunted house immediately. Luxi is investigating a purportedly haunted cemetery. As they approach the area, they find a lifeless animal near a tree.
Todo lo que hay gualichos. Acá pueden ver, pueden corroborar que hay un animal, miren, un animal muerto también, de los gualichos que se hacen acá en esta zona. ¿Lo puedes levantar, por favor? Sí. Ve, este animal.
He captures some of the tombs on video.
Uno de los... Allá atrás se puede apreciar, no sé si alcanza la toma de mi celular, porque mi celular es un celular muy bajo en resolución. Pero bueno, vamos a caminar a ver si podemos ver algo.
And then he and his entire extended family continue walking until they see what they came for.
Mirá, 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 mirá. Mirá, mirá. No, esto de no creer, esto de no creer, vamos. Corran. La verdad que no me lo podía esperar.
Did you see that figure? The figure in white appears very small and moves slowly through the tall grass. After putting some distance between them and the mysterious creature, the cameraman turns around to capture one last glimpse.
Ahí se ve. La verdad que se mueve, está en movimiento. La verdad que Jesús de Nazaret. No, vamos, corran. Agarrale.
Is it a witch? A ghost? The YouTuber believes it's an elf. I'm wondering if he might be on the right track, but in that case, why not stick around to see if it's good or evil? Would you be able to put up with this unfathomable poltergeist activity? YouTuber Sylvia C has long battled an angry energy wreaking havoc on her home. She experienced yet another encounter in May of this year.
What's happening again, guys? Lit.
What unresolved issues does this poltergeist have? He seems to often take it out on the kitchen.
Guys.
Commenter Enki2 has some advice for Sylvia in the comments. He writes, "Ghosts are like trolls. Don't feed them attention, respect, or most of all, fear." But I gotta say, with paranormal happenings like this happening around your home, it'd be pretty hard to ignore it. While exploring a haunted farmhouse alone, Dan from Nighthawk's Paranormal hears something present.
Make it fall forwards or backwards. Or just push it up.
You can hear faint footsteps, but when Dan looks over the landing, no one is there. Dan hears numerous other sounds in the house, including a male voice talking. And strange whispers.
What the flipping heck was that? Please tell me you heard that noise then.
I definitely get creepy vibes from this place, and wouldn't doubt that spirits are abound. All the unnerving whispers and unexplained noises do suggest the presence of John Penswick or some other spirit. What do you think is the case? When this woman's ex bewitched her, a powerful seer helped extract her from his spell. YouTuber Alberto Del Arco shares this mysterious video. First, the seer does something sort of magic around the woman.
Completamente en blanco, por favor.
The woman seems to become overwhelmed as the ritual continues.
O sea, con lo que la trabajaron es con lo mismo que lo estoy quitando. Tranquila. Bueno, pues. Tranquila. Tus manos llévalas hacia ti.
As it progresses, the woman appears to expel something from her. In fact, she seems to be dry heaving.
Tranquila, tranquila. Es normal, es normal, es normal.
Did the seer relieve her of her ex's dark magic? It looks to me that something powerful happened here. It was even made physical. I believe that her ex no longer holds any power over her. This mysterious video was taken during a tour of the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. The tour guide is talking about ghostly visitors from other time periods when something darts by low to the ground.
The frilly dresses, the little breeches shorts, the nice little blouses.
Many people agree that this looks like it could be one of the many variations of toy rabbits that were popular during the 18 and 1900s. I suppose it could just be a speck of dust or even computer-generated effects. No one says anything out loud, which is suspicious, but I did notice one of the girls looks down where the object was last moving and tracks it perfectly with her head. Maybe everyone there just thought they saw something out of the corner of their eye and weren't sure until they watched the video later. Posted to the r/Chills Narrator subreddit, Nick Chocolate 19 posted 2 videos from the same night on a doorbell cam. The Redditor writes, on January 10th, 2022 at approximately 9 p.m. that night, my family noticed something weird on the doorbell camera. The orb-like item kept coming into view and setting off the security alerts all night long. Any idea what this could have been? An orb can be seen floating on the right-hand side, and it doesn't appear to be going anywhere. The Redditor posted a second video writing, I posted a video yesterday about an orb on my doorbell cam. I'm posting another video because I want to show it couldn't be something like a helicopter. This is from 6:08 a.m. It did this all night from 9 p.m. The fact that the orb was visible all night makes it less likely that it's just a camera glitch in my opinion. What do you think this is? Is this cat talented? Or is it possessed? Published by Darrell Zand in May of 2012, this couple captured their cat acting out of character, crawling between the upper door frames near the ceiling like some crazy trapeze artist. As the couple is filming, a mysterious, vibrant blue streak flies toward the camera. The cameraman sees it in the moment and comments on it.
Now that was weird.
Was that a ghost orb? Some in the comments certainly think so, but most think the cat was scared beyond measure, not possessed. The cat even appears to watch the strange orb as it flies across the room. What do you think? Scared, possessed, or something else altogether? It's not often that the police show up during a ghost hunt. YouTube team Exploring with Fighters was exploring this abandoned school when they ran into some trouble. As they wander the halls, they see stuff has been scattered everywhere.
Some people have been chilling in there. Let's take a look.
Then they hear they're not alone. Should they leave? As they try to decide what to do, it's clear they're tripping over themselves. They're trying to exit through the window. After succeeding, they call the cops.
Yeah, the YouTubers like. Yeah, we just went in there. There's like 3 places. Let's go. Where's the entrance? Right, so you've got to go down the public footpath across the field. Yeah.
The police show up and are ready to search the place.
Oh, they've got him. They've got him.
Were the people inside just squatters, or were they up to something more nefarious?
Oh, there's the thumbnail, boys.
They head home for the night, and 24 hours later re-enter the school. You'd think they'd be alone this time, but then this happens.
Holy sh**. Wait. Calm down.
Did they really see someone in this haunted school? If so, where did they go? I think they witnessed a spirit squatter rather than human squatters this time. Mysterious rare creatures walk this earth, and most of us will never get a chance to see them until now. Shared by YouTuber Satpam Horror, this creature is known as a parakang in Indonesian. And this is what it sounds like. If this isn't some expert makeup, then I am 100% terrified. The sound coming from this creature also makes my skin crawl. Its glowing eyes and small sharp teeth look demonic. One thing's for sure, I would never search for this creature. Sean Baker noticed this strange thing living in his backyard not too long ago, and now the situation has become too large for him to ignore any longer.
Started out as a little white regular mushroom, and now it's grown into something demonic.
Whatever it is, one thing is for sure, the strange looking mass is able to withstand a lot of punishment.
Dead. It's like it's bleeding.
It oozes some sort of weird sludge in response to his attacks that I really hope is not toxic. Even with the help of a 2x4, Sean Baker is ultimately unable to bust the thing open or pry it loose from the earth. He curses the seemingly permanent growth in his backyard and ends the video in disgust. This almost certainly has to be some sort of rare fungus in my opinion, though I'm not sure what kind. But then again, maybe it really is from somewhere far away like Sean Baker seems to believe, perhaps even space. I'm hoping that together we can identify exactly what this thing is, and more importantly, how to get rid of it. A YouTuber named A. Marie says that she encountered a little ghost girl in the hallway of this haunted hotel in Oregon, and this eerie video taken late at night is her paranormal evidence. She's exploring the haunted hotel when she captures strange shadow movements on camera. I thought it was probably her own reflection in the window, but some people are saying that the angles don't match up and that this shadow has a different source, so maybe they're right.
Is there anybody with me? Is there any spirits with me?
Marie turns around only to capture a mysterious white light floating across the hallway. A little ghost girl wearing a dress according to some, but most likely a lens flare from the bright lights overhead. But here's the really creepy part. When she turns down the hall where the ghost last went, something scary is waiting for her. The creepy EVP sounds like a disembodied voice saying the word go, as in get out of this hall. I can only imagine that the legendary little ghost girl is turning around and saying this because she doesn't like to be followed by ghost hunters, and it might be best to heed her haunting words. This video looks like it was intentionally set up to capture something that has been appearing in a closet lately. At first, you can't really see anything, but after a while, the shadows begin to form into a human-like figure. The shadowy shape peeks out from behind the door, and at one point even appears to have two bright white eyes. The grainy quality of this video is a strong indication that it was edited. But then again, this may be a very old cell phone video, or perhaps a very early internet video that needed to be heavily compressed before uploading. This submission comes from my new subreddit, where you can post whatever bizarre things you come across in your everyday life. It's reddit.com/r/chillsnarrator if you want to check it out. Lost Cosmonaut 01 says that he has been dealing with paranormal stuff ever since he was a child. Apparently, spirits have always taken an interest in him. Anyway, he lives alone, and one night he managed to take a picture of this possible ghost sighting in his basement. What interests me is that this streak of light highly resembles whatever was shown in number 4. If anyone has an explanation besides the paranormal as to how this could have been caused, then please let me know, and be sure to keep your submissions coming. Tussauds, there's nothing more uncanny than wax figures. YouTube team Paranormal Voyages investigates the famous Madame Tussauds in Las Vegas, and what they find may not be wax at all. While touring the place at night, this unsettling EVP is heard. To me, that sounds mechanical, but then this happens.
Did you stop the video recorder?
Perhaps some of these wax figures are coming to life and they do not wish to be filmed. In the darkness, they somehow appear even creepier. They keep interfering with the team's devices, this time sending a clear message. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm out of there. Number 10. In July of 1973, Clara and Phil Dandy moved into this unassuming farmhouse bordering the woods of Hinsdale, New York, thinking that it would be a nice cozy place to raise their children. They would hardly last for more than a year. Their troubles began within days of moving in. Minor annoyances like constant hang-up phone calls and cabinet doors getting left open, and then not so minor things like a soft chanting coming from deep in the woods. Soon apparitions were roaming the 100-year-old house along with faces in the windows. As the weeks dragged into months, they recruited the help of a clergyman named Father Alphonsus to cleanse the house, upon which they claimed to have felt a scream rattle the walls, followed by a period of calm. However, the peace and quiet lasted only a few days before the spirits returned in full force, forcing the devastated Dandy family to move out 13 months later in October of 1974. The house has chewed through a few more families since then. None of them stayed for long, but nobody knows what they saw. The house couldn't sell and fell into a state of disrepair until 2015, when a paranormal investigator named Daniel Clace purchased it for him and his team to conduct their research. Daniel is an author, speaker, and paranormal documentary maker who co-founded the Western New York Paranormal Society in 2012. He has been interested in the paranormal his whole life, and that's why these videos seem legitimate, starting with this one in the downstairs bedroom. These spheres of light could be dust particles, or they could be spirit orbs that appear when the air becomes charged with paranormal energy. One thing that's weird is they are always moving straight up, all of them, and sometimes 2 at a time. This live camera feed is over 30 minutes long, and not once does an orb move downwards. That's definitely odd. And remember, I said faces are seen in the window. Well, I think this might be one of them, black eyes and all. Daniel uploaded the next video after he led a different team of ghost hunters investigate, a group called the Warriors of the Paranormal. They didn't want to miss anything, so they slept in shifts. One of them, named Bobby Ann, is asleep on the couch when this appears over her. A closer view only presents more questions. I see tiny ears, but the face is blacked out and it has no visible eyes or a mouth. It looks like it could have been fur, but that could also be bare skin. It's not a raccoon or a small dog, but those are the only two things it even remotely resembles. Maybe it could be a hand puppet, but there's no room for a second person to lay beside her, and she is facing the camera with the covers over her, so it can't be her. And it almost definitely can't be a wild animal, because I think even the deepest sleeper would wake with something so close. This is a different view from behind the couch. Bobby Ann turns in her sleep and looks at what's wrong with her arm. This part looks like their arm, but this circled part looks like something entirely different as it raises up then disappears, so maybe it was part of the blanket or something. But this rising dark apparition definitely is not. I don't know about you, but that definitely looked like some shadow person activity, or maybe edited. Either way, I've saved the creepiest part of all for last. Check out this ghostly figure standing over the couch. It looks like a little girl in a dress with her head down watching. I bet you didn't notice, but she was there all along. Dennis of Dark Ghost Paranormal is at his breaking point in this scary video. Published in March of 2022, Dennis encounters the most terrible demon in this haunted abode. Dennis conducts an EGF session with a horned skull facing a mirror. It tells him, "You let him out." After asking what he should do, the skull requests a ritual. He's told to burn it and take it to the swamp. Otherwise, the demon will follow him. He is also told that the demon is here. Dennis creeps around the house searching. He doesn't need to look far. Dennis is later dragged across the room by his heel. After regaining his feet, he calmly takes in the entire disaster zone. Then an object under a big draping robe moves toward him. Is this the demon? He'd better get to that ritual. I have a feeling there is worse to come. At home. Sometimes paranormal investigators get into the biz because they've experienced their own hauntings. That's true of the YouTube team, the New Reality Paranormal, who are investigating Sean's haunted home in this scary video. While listening closely in the home, they hear a strange EVP.
What was that?
That was something outside.
The voice is indiscernible, but it's there. Later, they again hear a disembodied voice.
So again, we're gonna add another piece of equipment.
Did you just say something? Did you just say something?
Add another piece of equipment.
Right before? No, dude. I just heard a hey.
But one of the creepiest captures is during a spirit box session when this woman's voice comes through.
He'll catch us.
It sounds like she's saying, "Don't leave me." I would feel sorry for her if she didn't sound so spooky. I'd leave here ASAP. Sorry, not sorry. Number 30. A man is deep in the forest of Malaysia looking for supernatural forces that he should probably best leave alone. All he has with him is a flashlight and a camera when he's caught in the presence of something paranormal.
Subhanallah, 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 subhanallah. Subhanallah, subhanallah.
He records in the direction he feels the most watched and captures this freaky face between the trees. Once spotted, things go even more wrong in a scary way.
Aku nak sangat berjumpa dengan kau. Apa hal puy? Apa hal puy?
When his light comes back on, the face is even closer. A still image taken at 2 minutes and 42 seconds shows what I'm talking about. The upper half of a scary man who I think could be of the spirit realm. Have you ever come across a haunted playground at night? This YouTuber has. He describes this perfectly chilling nightmare fuel with even more chilling imagery writing. While driving around in some unknown forest, I found this person rocking on some kind of swing. That description alone is enough to send chills down your spine, but watch the video and you won't be able to get this nightmare out of your head as the person filming sits inside his vehicle, shutting the headlights off and on again at random. The person rocking on some kind of swing is caught in the headlights. When the lights shut off, the next time they shine, the figure is in a different area of the forest. Its disappearance and reappearance are completely unsettling, especially when the figure comes closer and closer and closer until he disappears. Somehow his absence is the most upsetting part of the entire clip. That is, until... And that's where this video ends, leaving us wondering what happened to this unfortunate cameraman. A YouTube duo called Alone and Afraid are ghost hunting in a haunted cemetery in Port Arthur, Texas. While scanning the perimeter, they barely managed to catch a moving shadow that has no reason to stand out, let alone step aside. Look again. At 26 minutes and 58 seconds, a shadow is standing in front of a marker and then it moves away. The camera goes out of focus in the exact same area where they last saw the shadow's movement. Now standing in the middle of the cemetery with only a flashlight on them, the two begin hearing scary noises coming from the darkness.
She was asking for help. I'm hearing stuff all around us. This place is just super eerie.
I would classify this as extremely haunted. So, as promised, we're going to come back.
They hear approaching footsteps in the still night.
We're going to come back.
But when they explore the area with their flashlight, a blurred camera is all they can see, like an invisible presence is standing near. A group of friends are heading down the road. When they think they see something in the distance, they silently observe a small figure standing motionless just barely within sight. Listen to this part and translate if you can. Finally, they decide to take their chances and barrel past. Look closely and you'll see that the highway phantom is cloaked in a single white sheet. The stranger remains motionless as the bike passes, not even putting their hands up to protect themselves. This bizarrely calm reaction is not ordinary. It makes me think that this was in fact a real highway ghost encounter. This home footage was taken at the end of 2016 in rural Pennsylvania. A man grows tired of the strange noises coming from his basement and decides to investigate with a camera. According to him, it always sounds like something is running up the steps at full speed, but nothing ever comes through the door when it reaches the top. The man is confident that he will be able to scare off whatever it is that's lurking below. He opens the door and goes down the steps without a weapon.
All right, here we go. Hello? I know I hear you down here. I know I heard you. Holy oh my, dude. I just saw, holy man.
Instead of running away, he chases after the shadowy figure. The camera pans around the basement only to reveal that he is now alone. I guess it wouldn't be too hard to have someone dressed in all black and peek around a corner, so this video could be fake. Then again, this video could be genuine evidence of an actual shadow person. As for the original uploader, he says that he and his family no longer feel safe in their home. They're now looking to move someplace else. It's 3 in the morning when a YouTuber named QTube hears a knock at his door. He begins recording for his own safety and debates whether or not he should even look outside. Whoever knocked must have immediately ran away and left a package for him to open, which he soon does. I was half expecting some kind of rigged device or something like that, but what's really inside is just as weird. If this video is to be believed, then someone woke up QTube in the middle of the night for no other reason than to give him a pizza box with a gummy pizza inside. It's either the work of someone with a bizarre sense of humor or else totally insane. The whole event leaves QTube cautious and confused. Prank or not, he doesn't exactly seem thrilled about being the target of someone in the middle of the night, and I can't say I blame him. Let me know if you think this was just a harmless joke or if the next home delivery is going to be much worse. Vintage footage recovered from Michigan shows creepy things in the woods, scary stuff that you and I were never meant to see. Things get weird when the family dog begins guarding them and tracking smells. Something out here has had the animal on high alert for the whole time. Whatever it is has apparently gotten close to camp the night before. On their final day, they decide to let the dog roam as far as it wants. It tracks a scent deep into the forest where they've caught a scary unknown creature sighting on camera that I'm not sure they survived. The animal looks like a bear, but runs like something completely different. We only get a glimpse of it before the cameraman runs, but in those scary moments, some say that this is a sighting of the Michigan Dogman, a legendary humanoid creature lurking in the woods. Dogman or not, it has a pretty good head start on them. This does not look like a warning charge, therefore I would not be surprised if this creepy vintage video was found in the woods many years later. Have you heard of the Fresno nightcrawler? The cryptoid in question was first caught on video surveillance in Fresno, California. It appears extraterrestrial, looking akin to a long pair of white pants with a tiny head. The figure in this video, published in April of 2020, certainly fits that description. The home surveillance footage from Billings, Montana purportedly captures this bizarre creature. Claudia writes, "The figure appears in the top right corner at the 20-second mark along with sounds that seem to match a pig or some kind of mammal." Right before the timestamp in question, a car appears to drive near the property off camera, casting light into the yard. That's when you see the figure at the top right corner, which looks like it has 2 legs. Seeming to be scared into stillness, it soon scurries out of sight, if not the Fresno nightcrawler. What do you think this is? It looks like no mountain lion I've ever seen. To the Chills Narrator subreddit by Ding Dong Dingle Dude. This redditor wrote, "My friend and I saw this weird floating structure in the sky. Has anyone else seen something like this before?" Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
What the Dude, that's just floating up there in this sky. What the What the fuck? It flashed. Oh my, what? Dude. Are you recording?
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Mountain Aviator 1 wrote, "That is the mysterious radio tower. It's obstructed by clouds." Well, the Triple B thinks it's a weather balloon. What do you think this object is? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.